cover behind you?
No, I can't see it from here.
Okay.
Well, we can. I need to visit with you after this meeting if you have a minute, though.
Well, I'm going to have to leave pretty quickly for this one because I've got to start get on the road to get to another meeting I got to get to. But call me.
I'll try and see if we can connect while you're traveling.
There we go, Ron Rogers.
Okay, I think we've got a quorum, so I'm going to call the meeting to order at 12:04. Brian, you want to make our introductory remarks for remote meetings?
This is Brian. Thank you, Jim. This is Brian Yates with Swartz, Page and Harding. Welcome everybody to the Montgomery County MUD number 39 Board of Directors meeting for Wednesday, June the 16th, 2021. As in prior meetings, I'll briefly go through the remote meeting procedures and then perform a roll call. So to begin with, I need to remind everyone the meeting is being recorded as required by the Texas Open Meetings Act. Second, please remember to state your name before you speak, including the making of any motions. When you're not speaking, please be sure to mute your line. Third, we will continue the practice of having a roll call to vote on each motion. After a motion has been made and seconded, please wait until you hear your name called and then respond with a verbal aye, a nay, or an abstention. Finally, we need to identify each person who's joining the meeting remotely today so that we can accurately reflect the attendance in the minutes of the meeting. I'll perform a roll call for the board members, followed by staff and consultants. When you hear your name or your company called, please respond by indicating that you're present in the meeting. Likewise, if you need to leave the meeting before it adjourns, please announce that you're doing so before you disconnect. Once I've completed the roll call for directors, staff, and consultants, I'll ask for any members of the public to identify themselves for the record. So starting with our board of directors, Eric Berglund.
Present.
Ronnie Rogers.
Present.
Jim Matthews.
Present.
Eric Hurd is absent. Ted Stanley. Is Ted on the line?
He is not.
Okay, so Ted is absent. We do have 3 directors present. That is a quorum. So we'll move on to the roll call for Woodlands Water staff. Jim Stinson.
Present.
Mike Mooney.
Present.
Maureen Bourgeois.
Present.
Shelley Lawson Kennedy.
Present.
And Jeannie Scott is at CLE today, so she is absent. Anyone else from Woodlands Water in the meeting? If not, we'll move on to St. Jacinto River Authority staff. Ron Kelly.
Present.
Ed Shackelford.
Present.
Chris Meeks.
Present.
Matt Corley.
Present.
Anyone else from the River Authority in the meeting?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll move on to MUD 39 consultants. Do we have any MUD 39 consultants in the meeting? If not, I believe we have a developer representative from Howard Hughes today.
Yeah, Dan Cocarson is here representing Howard Hughes Corporation. Wanted to stop in and say hi to the board. See if there's anything you guys need from the developer or have any questions of me, I'll be happy to answer any of those, but I'll just want to stop in and say hello to you guys.
Okay, and moving on to members of the public. Do we have any members of the public present in the meeting? We need to identify you for the record as well. Maureen, does that cover everyone who appears to be logged into the meeting?
That's everybody.
Okay, that'll complete the roll call. Jim, I'll hand it back over to you to begin the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item number 2 on our agenda is receive comments from the public. I don't think we have any today. Item number 3, consider and request adjustments. Mike, do you have any adjustments today?
This is Mike. No adjustments for MUD 39 this month.
Okay, very good. Moving on to the consent agenda, items 4 through 8. Would anyone like any of the consent agenda items removed over to the regular agenda for discussion? If not, do we have a motion to approve our consent agenda items 4 through 8?
This is Director Matthews. I move that we approve the consent agenda items 4 through 8.
And
Director Berglund, I second that motion.
very good. We'll have a roll call vote. Eric Berglund, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ronnie Rogers,
Aye.
and Jim Matthews.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item 9 and the regular agenda, will receive the San Jacinto River Authority Woodlands Division report.
Good afternoon, directors. This is Matt Corley, SJRA. You should have a copy of your monthly operations report on, I believe it's page 15 of your packet. Highlight this month, your blend ratio between groundwater and surface water is 49% groundwater to 51% surface water. That's fiscal year to date. And we had no permit violations for the month of May. Be happy to answer any other questions regarding the monthly operations report. If there are no questions, I believe Mr. Kelling had a few comments he'd like to make.
And we just like to thank everybody who participated in providing comments actually over the last couple of years to Lone Star, GMA14. We had a good turnout at the Lone Star's public hearing, which was last week. We had about 12.5 folks from the Woodlands actually show up in person. About a dozen made comments, and so we're appreciative of that. Just a reminder that their comments can still be provided in writing to Lone Star by July 19th, which is the end of the comment period. And then GMA 14 are supposed to vote on the DFCs. It's currently scheduled for October the 6th. That date is probably going to change, and once we find out the actual date, we'll let everybody know. But again, we thank everybody for their participation. We'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Ron Kelling. If no questions regarding the DFCs, then we'll move on to item number 10, receive and discuss the SJRA Woodlands Division report.
Well, this is Chris Meeks. This item's on the agenda in case any of the directors have any questions on the budget that was presented.
And just a reminder that it's out for your review and feedback, and then we'll have it on the MUD agendas next month to take official action. So if you have any questions between now and then, let us know. Item number 11, receive the attorney's report.
This is Brian. Thank you, Jim. I've been reporting to boards on the renewal of the governor's proclamation that affects the suspension of the in-person meeting requirements under the Texas Open Meetings Act. That did get renewed again last Monday. With cases being as low as they are for as long as they've been low, we are anticipating that will be winding down here sooner rather than later. We are in contact with the governor's office about that and have been assured that they would give us some advance notice so that we could plan accordingly for our district clients. We are going ahead for districts that are meeting at our offices and planning to have in-person meetings available to those districts that would like to hold them beginning after Labor Day, so in September, assuming that the governor hasn't lifted that proclamation by then. We are looking at a bit of a more accelerated time frame in the Woodlands. The trustees voted last week to hold their July meeting in person, and they did recommend that the MUD boards defer until July to consider whether to begin holding their meetings in person in August. I believe Jim has been reaching out to directors to do a straw poll of sorts to get some sense of a desire and willingness by board members to meet in person, and by and large that has been strongly favorable. So we will be taking that up next month, and we'll hopefully be transitioning over the next couple of months into a in-person meeting environment and starting to get back to business as usual. So I think everybody's looking forward to that, and hopefully the cases will stay low or go even lower, and we can, I think a lot of people's lives have gotten much more back to normal over the last few months, and we're hoping that district business can as well. So happy to answer any questions if y'all have them, but otherwise that concludes the attorney's report. No questions for Brian Yates. We'll move on to item number 12,
receive and act on staff information regarding the Montgomery Central Appraisal District election. In your packet is a resolution to nominate an individual to be put on the ballot for that special purpose district election. You may remember last month, Metro Center Mud, I think, submitted a notification to MCAD that they wanted to have a special purpose district candidate. This month is when you get to choose who that will be. Arthur Bredehoff is offered to run as a special purpose district candidate representing the Woodlands Mud. So we would recommend that you authorize the resolution in your packet with Arthur Bredehoff's name to be submitted.
Director Matthews, I move that we select Arthur, how you say that, Jim? Bredehoff?
Bredehoff.
Bredehoff is our candidate for that position.
We have a motion. Can we have a second?
Eric Berglund, I'll second that motion.
Very good. We'll have a roll call vote. Eric Berglund, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Dr. Ronnie Rogers?
Aye.
And Jim Matthews?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Moving on to the general manager's report, just a few items to highlight from our trustee meeting. I did report that we continue to have productive discussions with TACUS upper management. With their cooperation and support from our outside attorney on the effort to collect damages from the contractors, we have resubmitted invoices to the 5 prime contractors that TACUS had working in the Woodlands during these damages. And we have put a note on the invoice that we consider it past due. And I think Mike reminded me it's due next Wednesday is the date we put on the invoice. So we'll see how that plays out. In your packet is a monthly update from the HARC consortium agreement. Also, there's a copy of comments that they prepared to Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District regarding the phase 2 subsidence study. We're also working on a press release, probably to come out this week, maybe today or tomorrow, regarding a story map that's been put together for that consortium and that effort. And also they've completed their recommendation for where subsidence measuring devices should be located throughout Montgomery County. So look forward to seeing that out soon. We talked more about the potential of relocating a couple of AMI poles from the neighborhood around Slash Pine and the neighborhood around Lake Woodlands Drive and Kirkendall. And then we've also reported that the San Jacinto River Authority and our staff are working together as a team to try to develop a short list of consultants and lobbyists to be in a position to get funding from the Biden infrastructure plan that's being discussed. And we're also working on setting up a meeting with Kevin Brady and his staff to get some guidance and feedback from Congressman Kevin Brady on that topic. And that concludes my report, and I am available for questions if you have any. If they're not, on the item number 14, what I would report on the trustees report is our Woodlands Water Agency trustees adopted a proclamation thanking staff for excellent performance during the COVID outbreak and during the winter storm and a number of other challenges that we've had this year. So that proclamation was completed and signed and actually handed out to the employees today, and with a bonus to their paycheck. So we appreciate the recognition from the trustees on that topic. Any other questions about item 14 on your agenda? If not, we'll move on to item 15, discuss any matters for placement on a future agenda. Anything from you guys? If not, we will stand adjourned at 12:19 p.m.
Wonderful. Have a good week, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a great time.